good morning, afternoon, evening. It is Monday morning where I am. It's Sunday night where you are. 8 o'clock at night, Eastern Time. Futures are open, and we'll go over that right now because there is very little to talk about. Uh, Blase, after that Kevin McCarthy pop run up on Wednesday saying that a deal was on the table and doable this Sunday, which today is Sunday. There's 4 hours left in the day, and it's pretty damn clear that there is no deal on the table for the debt ceiling. Debt ceiling, debt ceiling, debt ceiling. Same like last week, same like this week. We're going to be subject to these debt ceiling headlines, unknowing when they're coming out. Obviously, you've got optimistic, pessimistic. Thursday, we had the two Fed speakers, Logan and Bullard, talking about raising rates in June. Market brushed it off. Added it in a little bit later on, brushed it off, talking about how there will still be rate cuts coming later this year. That's what the market's factoring in, and that's the way the game goes. But as of right now, we are down 5 points on the ES, 9 points on the NQ, fractionally nothing over here on the YM, 30 points, 38 points, and the Russell is dead flat, 3 points. So that is going to be one of the things that we are constantly monitoring because despite what your index technicals are, the futures have been in control. And when the futures get oversold, we have to respect these futures and trade off of it. Last week, ended green. We knew we were going to end green because we already had 2 red weeks in a row. You don't get 3 in a row unless it is a major sell-off. Kevin McCarthy screwed that up, and we are 164 points for the month of May. Insufficient. April was very insufficient with only 121 points. As you can see here, going back to March, we had a 300-point move. 250 in February, 300 in January, 330, 381. I mean, you can go back all the way to 2021, 2020, 2019. These 164-point ranges, they're just simply inefficient and incomplete. But we've got the Memorial Day weekend coming up next week, Monday. So this week into the end of the week will be a lot of booking of profit taking for all of those who have been involved in this throughout. And it's still clearly, very obviously, 5 individual stocks. As we saw there on Friday, when I finally have completed this QQQ, created it on Thursday, went around, took me about an hour, color coded it, got everything that I wanted to see, and bam, that was easy to see there on Friday. 4 green closes in a row. Nope, definitely getting a red close on Friday, and very obviously got that red close on Friday. 11-point range on the week. 11 points. And this is now 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 green weeks in a row on the NASDAQ. Shared that chart with you earlier last week about having it been 4 prior over in August when we put in that August top. 5 way back last year, the prior year, 2021, as we had that run up into the all-time highs. This is living on borrowed time for the QQQ. And with this week coming up here, we have NVIDIA on Wednesday after the market close. We've got 10 companies that will be filing bankruptcy at some point during the course of this year, early part of next year, that are going to be reporting earnings this week. Big Lots being one of them, but NVIDIA is the big one. Wednesday after the market close. However, on Wednesday, while we are open, we are going to have Janet Yellen speaking at 10 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So you got the FOMC minutes there on Wednesday as well. And tomorrow, to Monday morning, we started off at 8:30 in the morning with the hawkish Fed's Bullard speaking. So it is definitely going to be a lot that will be on the table, and it will again be subject to debt ceiling headlines that are coming out, which are blowing fluff, which everybody knows they are not going to get a deal done next week. They are not even going to come close. But the headlines are the headlines. Looking over here at the SPX, as we already know, we broke above that 41.55 because of Kevin McCarthy, and now have three closes in a row above that 41.55. Daily, as you can see over here, overbought up into the overbought warning zone, just like we were well up over here when we had that nice big run up off of the March lows. Same thing as we had that little pop over here in the beginning of May, and here we are. You got your high over here, 41.95 from back in February, and as you can see, the zone where we're into a failure zone. We still have gaps that are unfilled going over here to August, but we are into a failure zone. And then you come over here onto the QQQ, and you can clearly see how the QQQ has already taken out that August high. Daily, over into extreme overboughts that it has not been into in well over a year. And again, a very subject to retracement drop in the market with what we've got with the QQQ and how everything is on those five stocks, which a number of us have been discussing how you got your sell signals 3 weeks ago. At the start of the month, end of April, we were getting the sell signals that were showing up on the NASDAQ, and it just continued to run through all of it. I did spend a little bit of time searching around over the weekend, and it appears Mr. Few and his 800, 900,000 followers is taking a lot of shit because he also saw those sell signals and everybody is bashing the hell out of him, which, from a social media measurement point of view, when people out there start doing that stuff, that's when you know that you are getting close to a turning point. So, looking over here at the VIX, higher low over here on the RSI, a lot of space to get up just to that 50-day moving average at 19. But I'll show you over here, we have some gaps. Start here with the NDX, 4 hour, up to extreme overbought levels, which we have now had 4 times over the course of the year on the 4 hour. Over here is your first, where you came in and broke your upper Keltner. This was right over here into the beginning of February, prior to the big February drop. Over here was your second one, which is right there where we had that 3-day bam, 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 bam run up at the end of March, which put us into that chop zone where we did nothing throughout the course of April. And here we are again over here at the end of last week, where we broke above that upper Keltner. And as you can see, we are very much overbought on this 4 hour. So that is what we're watching for from a big move point of view. The big move point of view, the 4 hour is always going to be your best indicator. Coming over to the QQQ, that 100 extension for a perfect C equals A, perfectly hit right there at 339, closed above that August high at 334. A lot of gaps that are still there to be subject to, but we're going to be looking at that 327. One of the cool things I created when I made that spreadsheet, I put this retracement calculator on from the 2023 low and the March lows. 325.70 would take us to our 23.6 retracement to the March low, and that would obviously suffice that move down to that minus 20% line, bear market line at 327. So we will be watching the QQQ, and from a data point of view, now having that spreadsheet created, this is undoubtedly up to its peak, where anything above that 340, 339, the credits on that should be absolutely fantastic to be able to collect on. The SPX, looking at this from a clean point rally drop point of view only, minus 800 to finish it off, 600, 330, 430, 350, 400. We're frothy. All right, we're frothy. So to see a 300-point pullback, keep you above that 3808 would keep everything intact from a bullish point of view. 300-point pullback from 4212, 4213 fits right into that 3909, which is all that we've been expecting from a max point of view anyway. So it's there. zoom out on this just so you can see a cleaner point of view. And we're there. We're there. We're at that breaking point now to where it finally should be that we've had quite enough. But again, same thing. We are subject to the debt ceiling discussions, debt ceiling comments, debt ceiling, debt ceiling. And looking here at a 15-day view, chopped around all perfectly. Kevin McCarthy opened his mouth where he should have put a dick in it instead of making a comment. 404 down here is still with that gap that's unfilled over on 4061 on the SPX. So all that we're looking for in an expectation point of view. Zoom it out even further. Look at your 30-day. All we're looking at from a zoomed out point of view. Come out to your 90-day, and as you can see, this is where your 3909 is down here at 389. This is what we'd be looking for right over here, down in this 394, 390 area. If we are going to get a nice catalyst as we go into June for a bigger drop, complete it, sell it all off, get everything oversold, and then we start to progress into the summer. So, like I said, not much there other than updates from what we had last week and how we're sitting here waiting and pending and waiting and pending. And it all comes down to that 41.55. You get it close below 41.55. We're obviously in tune to start looking for that move down to 41.36. We get below 41.36, we're looking for 41.17. 41.17 then opens up our 4100, our 4090, 4090. There you go. And off to the races, you start looking down into that lower level. And again, this is your SPX with the 1 hour, looking at the Keltner channels alone. As of the moment where we are, we should not be looking or expecting on Monday any drop that comes below 41.36. That is the limit. We will not be dropping lower than 41.36 unless there is a debt ceiling headline. As the week progresses and we go into Tuesday, go into Wednesday, we'll start to reevaluate where our scenes are for the course of the week and get ready for Janet Yellen on Wednesday. So have a great Sunday. Not much to update, like I said. I will catch all of you in the chat room. And thank you all for your well wishes last week. Yes, it was, but there is a responsibility and things to do on Friday. And all of you that took advantage of the one-on-one calls over the weekend, greatly appreciate your time. Helps me to answer your questions a lot better as we move forward. Use that chat room, private message me all you want on anything other than baking. I'm not really good when it comes to baking, but yeah, anything other than that, especially all the charts that you want, anything, send me your messages. I'll be right back in touch with you. Have a good night.